Hi, I am Verity Price, the 2021 World Champion of Public Speaking, and today I have a message for the future World Champion of Public Speaking. I want to share with you 3 things that I wish I had known before I won. Because what I do know is that the journey to the finals, the journey to hearing that you're world champion, is so focused on the speeches that you're giving. I spent 7 months obsessively writing, rewriting, refining, rehearsing 2 speeches. And it was all about those 2 speeches and giving the best speech that I could possibly give. What I wasn't ready for was the life-changing moment when you hear that it's actually paid off and you're actually the world champion. My sister Kay, about 3 days before the finals, phoned me and said, Verity, have you thought about what you're going to do if you win? I was like, I don't have time to think about that. I'm just trying to see if I can win. But she was so right. Because when you win this contest, you are going to come under a barrage of attention. You are going to there's nothing that prepares you for how much attention you get. There are emails, there are WhatsApp, there are messengers. They are going to come at you. And it's incredible, but it's also overwhelming. Within seconds of winning, my inboxes were flooded, and I started to get a small sense of what I was up against. Luckily for me, the first lesson, and the one I want to share with you, was shared to me by the 2020 world champion, Mike Carr. He emailed me immediately that I won, saying, congratulations, please have a Zoom call with me before you do anything. And I will be forever grateful that Mike did that, because in that call, he said to me, Verity, I wish I'd known that when I won, I didn't have to start being the world champion immediately. Take some time. Take some time to regroup, to recalibrate, and to refocus on what you are going to do next. He suggested 6 weeks to 2 months before I said yes to any district request. You have to say yes to the interview requests, the podcast requests, so it's going to keep you busy. You're not going to be sitting back doing nothing. But the best advice I got was that I didn't have to say yes to all the district requests. I could wait for 2 months to completely integrate my win so that when I started giving back to the Toastmasters community, it would be from a place of grounded, centered wholeness. Okay, so give yourself some space to enjoy the win and to decide on what you want to go forward and what you want to take forward into the world as your message as world champion. That gets me to my second point. I was so grateful that Mike told me to take the time. What I was sad that I hadn't known was that I probably should have been documenting my journey to the finals. Because after you win, people are going to ask you for a keynote. You are going to have your message, your positioning on what goes into writing a winning speech or how to become world champion, whatever angle you take on it. They're going to want that keynote. And trust me, you're going to be exhausted because you have just been focusing on 700 words for 7 months. I wish I had known to journal what I was learning. So if you are hearing this message right now and you're in the semifinals going, I hope I make the finals, I'm going to try become world champion, journal your journey. Pick up your pen and write down, what are you learning? What are you learning about yourself? What are you learning about feedback? What are you learning about writing a speech? Write it all down. Capture those bullet points. Because after you win, and when you're getting ready to decide what to share back to the Toastmasters community, those bits of writing will give you so much food for thought, and you'll be able to build your message around it. So please journal the journey now. Take time off when you win to let it all land. And that third piece is, what is your message going to be to the world? Because becoming world champion is not about you. I discovered that very quickly. You are going to belong to the world of Toastmasters. You are going to belong to the world of hopeful future contestants that look to you for guidance, for inspiration, for ways to also win. How are you going to teach that? And that's where the journaling and the taking time is going to help you come up with your offering. Because you're going to be speaking a lot. You are going to be online, in person, sharing what you've learned. And you'll discover that being world champion is not a title. It's a verb. I'll put it to you this way. It is not a noun. It's a verb. You are going to do. You are going to give. You are going to speak. But if you do those 3 things, I believe it will really set you up for success. journal your journey, take some time after you win to integrate, and then work on a keynote that you can deliver. There is a fourth thing, and this is probably the most important one, actually, and I want you to make sure this happens the moment you win. Like I said to those preparing for semi-finals, reach out to your district and ask for support. I was so lucky that my district 74 saw that I would need support. They assigned me a brand manager, incredible woman, Jasmine Hecht. She has walked the World Championship road with me. She deals with all requests for speeches. She manages my diary. She makes sure that I know where I need to be, what the login details are, what exactly is expected from me. And it has made it possible for me to serve Toastmasters to the utmost of my ability, because I've had someone guiding and holding that process. So make sure you don't try to do this by yourself. Ask your district to create a brand manager role. It's an awesome role, and Jasmine has been a lifesaver for me. Get them to set up a world champion at district.org and have that as a role, because you are representing them. So make sure they help you. But please listen to this, and if you are on your way to that World Finals and you want to bring back that trophy, I hope this helps you to be ready, to be prepared for what it really means to be world champion. And trust me, once you're on the ride, it's a roller coaster worth riding.